All right, guys, here to talk about the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer. 1997's I Know What You Did Last Summer, Lee. Had you seen it before?
Of course.
Yeah, I thought there was no shot that you didn't, but
we
had
all
to
know
ask.
this one, and it's the guys from school. It's like, you cut me too deep. I know this movie. It's totally fine.
It came in response to that, yes.
Well, it was, how much time they had.
Scream made some money, and they said, quick, get that shit out here.
Quick!
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a movie. I don't hate it. I think it's fine. I think it's interesting because of where it fits in and all that stuff. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm kind of whatever with it.
I think I like the second one better, honestly.
Holy shit.
Which is rare for a sequel. And it's mostly because it's dumber. This movie is certainly fine. But
I think
it's a little convenient.
I think you've hit upon something, is that it's not dumb enough.
Well, kinda.
I think that through that one statement, we can provide our entire analysis. Because we'll get into it more, obviously, once we're able to spoil it. But it's very much like a movie.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, wait, where's the part I can make fun of, or the crazy, this part, that part? It's just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But it's tame by today's standards.
Oh, definitely.
So we're dealing with a historical relic here.
More or less. All right, guys, if you've seen it or don't care, follow the spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, here we are for the spoilers of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Lee, let me hear them spoiler-filled thoughts.
Yeah, I don't want to trash it. I'm not saying it's bad.
There's some bad parts about it.
Well, the worst, okay, to finish my original thought, it's fine. It kind of happened to me. It's over. I'm like, word. I wasn't shocked either way. I wasn't like, wow, this is so much better than I remember. And I wasn't like, oh, this stinks. I thought it was good. It's bad.
It's no Scream.
Yeah.
Mostly, I think it falls apart where it's a very complicated, real movie plot.
Yeah.
And I don't think the acting matches the seriousness of the film. It's very the acting's kind of campy.
Why did he make coleslaw on Helen's head? He's fucking with us.
Come on, Julie, let's go back to the house.
Where's your jacket, Barry?
Okay. Let's be brutal.
Freddie Prinze Jr. might be bad He might be a bad actor. He's usually in light comedy things where you're like, oh, him as Fred from Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
Nailed it.
I don't need you to be really driving it home, but he's just weirdly, I don't know.
What are you saying?
Hey! Let's try to stay calm.
I've seen a lot of movies. I feel like he's just a fake actor.
He's not good about movies, yeah.
Well, no one's doing
all that.
Real movies. No one's doing great here, I would say.
Drinking, partying, running people over, getting away with murder, things like that.
I hesitate to bring this up because I do not want to have to get a clip of this. But the VMAs used to make fun of stuff. Do you I think people literally I don't want to say anything because it's not going to be that, but it's Will Ferrell wearing overalls what do you want from me? Come on, what are you doing? And yelling
Scary Movie
she does.
Does a lot of this better than they're doing it right here.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
I was gonna say that too, where I couldn't tell if it was from the VMAs or Scary Movie, but I think a lot of its flaws kind of already got worked through publicly by Scary Movie, which I agree. I kept seeing stuff and I'm like, oh, that's from Scary Movie. Fuck. Oh my God, it's from this.
I think Ryan Felipe honestly is a decent actor. I think he's hitting a lot of things hard, but they're not being received in a way that makes any sense. Like when he has his ultimate snap, I've just diving into the water. Gotten your crown back, here you go, bitch, and I need Jennifer Love Hewitt to sign on to our bargain to never talk about this again.
We make a pact. Right here and now we take this to our grave.
He has his hands around her neck, he's choking her to a wall, and she's like, yeah, Ryan Felipe, whatever. I'm like, there should be fucking horror in your face. You're being choked. This is a really serious fucking thing happening here.
Okay, Barry, we take this to the grave.
And you're like, la 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 la, I'm the ghost whisperer. It's just,
I whisper to ghosts. Jennifer Love Hewitt might be a bad actor.
No way, are you crazy?
We just keep saying everyone might be a bad actor.
I've seen most of these people, at the very least, in the right role
No,
do very good acting. But I think in this particular movie, it's just the script didn't allot for it.
No. And let's be clear. Like Natalie Portman and Hayden Christensen are also good actors, and they've put out some of the worst performances anyone's ever done. I'm not literally saying I hate this actor. I want to go to their house. I want to, throw out all the expired food and out of their fridge. I'm not being weird. I'm just saying, in this movie, they're not good, right?
No,
that's what we're saying.
Big
I agree
Bang
with
Theory
you.
guy. He's like I'm like, okay, you're very generic.
He was good.
And I've known you as an actor for like your whole life.
Yeah.
You've been Ron Roseanne. You're in this. You're like you're decent.
I remember
in this. It's not so, acting.
The problem is, I think, a lack of focus at the end of the day. Because to your point, we're doing a lot of like the most okay. The actors are acting sometimes like they're in Scream.
No. Now, what I want is for you and me to just...
Listen to me, Ray, okay? I want you to get something. There is no you and me.
And sometimes like they're in a scary movie.
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
But often not like they should be, right? Mm-hmm. But they are put in a movie that has a structure that is not like the other things. We have to do last summer, we have to do this summer, we have to do next summer.
Yeah.
And that bulges out a little bit. You get like an hour 40, I want to say. But within it, you like because you can't just do a 5-minute cold open with an actress that you kill and then you go, oh, we're genius.
I want to talk to you for a second.
They've got 900 numbers for that. See ya.
No, you like that's a whole section, right? And then at the end you have to do a whole section. And then in the middle, we're doing all this stuff. We're like researching, oh, you're not the real killer, he's the killer. I thought you were the killer.
It's
and I'm
much.
Like, wait, no, because you can't do that and go to Anne Heche's house.
Yeah.
And go to I'm looking at the thing.
Anne Heche,
like
she's good. She's creepy. I believe her.
What are you doing here?
You shouldn't have started the movie with the guy contemplating suicide
Crazy.
on the rock, too. Like, that's just dumb. That's your red herring that you're not doing right.
When you saw that, were you like, wait, they show this part? What the fuck? And then, so like literally by the end of the movie, I remembered why I forgot that they showed you that guy because the story is so convoluted. At the end, you're on a boat with ice and there's bodies and you're like, the guy has been doing it the whole time.
That it was that convoluted stupid shit because if it was Anne Heche's brother, you'd be like, okay, so for why
do you know about
a year
this?
now, you had to lay low with no source of income, act like you were dead to forge this plan to get to this moment, which is no, it's what that guy did. And it's like, well, why is he doing that? Well, he already got rid of the guy that he wanted to kill, and his life had no purpose now. So he said, I'll kill these kids too.
I'll wait a year. I'll heal up. I'll go into the rejuvenation chamber.
It's so crazy to me.
Yes. But listen, I do like that it is so grounded at the end of the day. I know that's ridiculous to say, but it's literally just being on the other side of a tale of revenge.
Yeah.
And it's not supernatural or paranormal or weird, and there is a lot of tension to being on a boat and like trying to get a door open and you can't get it open and you're like, where even am I in this boat? And you're hearing noises like is the guy with the hook behind me? Like that's real and that has its own thing.
In the boat, all of that works. But it's when you walk it back to their whole town now.
No. But
it's okay. Ryan Felipe, star athlete. He's literally a college quarterback, which means he is like an elite athlete.
I'll call the cops on your college quarterback ass!
Freddie Prinze Jr. is like a fisherman as well, so a physical job.
Yeah, almost a year now. I'll work on that one over there, on the end.
That's nice.
But like 40 years younger than you. He's sneaking around their houses at any time. He's ballsily sneaking into Buffy's house, and her dad literally just could have turned and been like, I'm a big Italian guy, and just clubbed him to death.
Yeah.
Like, you're not this, He-Man, you're not supernatural, you're a random old fisherman.
It's the epitome, right? Because you would think on some level, well, being down there, he drowned, and then his hatred brought him back to life, or some fucking thing happened, but then you're like, no, y'all left, and he, got his foot unstuck, and he came up, and he's just been like, I got their license plate, and that's the whole setup, right? Really?
I was thinking that,
like,
how did he even find them?
What's happening?
Like, yes, it's a small town, but like, he's also probably severely concussed. Blood is in his eyes. He looks like a different person, because it probably is. And I don't understand how he even found them. Like, he gets, like, her, she's off, she's in college very shortly after this. Seemingly, they lost all contact between each other the moment this happened, because everything's a big surprise. I get that this is pre-Facebook. You don't know, oh, her acting career fell apart. Oh, he's a fisherman. These people were dating. Did they break up that day?
I don't hate the concept that this shared secret tore your life apart.
Definitely.
That's okay. But yes, it doesn't land, in my opinion,
it's very
properly. I had the same thought to you, where it's like, Ryan Felipe, like, they try in various ways, I think. Sometimes I don't even know if they're trying, I'm sorry. But for me, I kept thinking like, oh, they're trying to make me, like definitely with Freddie Prinze Jr., they're like, oh, he's the killer though.
Yeah.
And it's this goofy
thing. They tried very hard for
like,
that.
Too hard almost.
You went to Missy's. You're the friend. You're the fisherman.
I can explain. Julie, wait!
Yeah.
But I thought they were also trying to make it like Ryan Felipe had been doing some stuff or something like that.
Okay, I didn't pick that up.
Well, because they're not doing it now, but he's very unstable, and he demonstrates that in several ways.
You did a lot of things last summer.
Yeah, well, only one murder comes to mind.
Just shut the hell up!
And he's like choking Jennifer Love Hewitt and stuff. I thought this was going to add up to like a nice, like, oh good, it's not Freddie Prinze Jr. Oh shit, but he dies like early on, relatively speaking. Wait, what's the angle here? And the angle is, much like in Scooby-Doo, you just take off, it's this guy we don't even know, this guy, who is he?
Even like his death, he's killed pretty publicly. You know, they hear her screaming, and it stops the whole pageant, and they go up there.
God,
so, like, he had to very quickly get down out of the fucking loft with a body.
Yeah. Stay behind me, okay?
Also, he stabbed him many times to death, and there is blood evidence. They just don't see it. There would have been, I feel, a ton more of that.
Yeah, they show that fucking drop.
Yeah.
There's some good shots. I think it's like well crafted.
Yeah, the shadows and business.
When it like swings over and you see the little whoop drop of blood, I'm saying, I'm like, just so you know they're not crazy.
He fills her trunk with crabs.
That's so stupid.
And the body of a person who died for no reason at all. He had nothing to do with it. He's dead.
He got too close.
Our guy kills many people that have nothing involved, like the poor-ass cop.
Too close.
He had to plan that out, so, all right, I'll put my detour sign here.
Well, we're gonna have to take the alley.
She'll obviously get a ride home from a cop.
Why don't you let me take you home, okay?
He'll take her this way. Oh, no, he'll go through the alley. I'll be parked here.
I'm just gonna be a minute, all right? I want to see if this fella needs help.
Waiting, and when he asks me if I need any help, I'll kill him.
You don't think that that's well within?
I think a lot of that's crazy. Like how he got the body and the
the body
out of there.
The body out of the trunk was a thing.
It's daytime and he's parked in front of a random house. That's very fucking crazy.
I don't like to nitpick, but in that moment, because in my head again, I'm like, well, I watched this. I don't like remember this being stupid like this. So I'm thinking like, well, wait, but there'd have to be like two cars, or like, wait, what's happening? Because you'd have to picture the dude dressed as the fisherman, just fucking buckets and like, oh fuck, I gotta take the fucking crabs out of the bucket. Like it wouldn't make any sense,
like,
right?
If you would have had him like, oh, it's wrapped in like tarp, and maybe he could have just folded the tarp back over and carried it all, but it would still smell like fish. You'd be like, you know, you're right. I can smell decaying body and fish. Like
it smells like death and crabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't even. He was there, goddamn.
My favorite combination.
Yeah. Just a lot of things are too dumb for me to like. Scream leagues better than this. And I think the reason I like the second one more than I like this one is because the second one's like dumber. So like it's like, yes, Jack Black as a white Rastafarian. You've got me.
I got some back guano. I got the cream jeans.
Oh no, I have not seen that movie, I don't think.
Oh. We can make that happen.
I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Okay. I mean, I guess if I never saw the second one.
Daddy's gonna be mad.
So you mentioned it is not out of the realm of possibility that the group dynamic would change dramatically after a tragic event like this. And I do love her saying to Freddie, I don't hold you responsible, but I don't want to see you anymore.
I don't blame you. But I don't want to know you either.
Like, it reminds me of this. And yes, because his colors changed there. He's not the man she knew. He's obviously somebody else.
Did you say his colors changed?
Like her like...
Because I pictured Power Rangers. I'm like, that's right.
Course.
He's the Green Ranger now. We can't trust him.
Hello, Tommy. Allow me to introduce myself. What's going on?
I love that scene too, because she's in her fucking overalls and she's like, I can't be with you, or I can't be around you, or something. And then she goes, and then like literally runs away. Yeah. She runs away down the dock. It was the goofiest. I'm like, is this really happening? Is this really a scene in your movie? Mm-hmm. I love the idea of all their relationships like falling apart as a result of this. Mm-hmm. I love that. I love the star athletes, like an alcoholic, and I'm just a fisherman. I don't know this. And you know,
well, he was already an alcoholic.
Whatever.
Before you head off to rehab.
They do establish that to such great lengths. I would like a better movie where everyone did like textbook collapse in this way, where you could tell that it was from the guilt and it was from
like this one became like a sex addict and this one's blah blah, and she dropped out of school, not just her grades are going poorly. Like, this is her coming back. That one, losing her out on her acting career, wasn't probably related to this, because honestly I feel like the two of them weren't affected by this at all.
I mean, okay, so like, I can't tell if they're trying to do something or if I'm trying to read something.
I think it's looking for something.
Please don't insult the creators of I Know He Did Last Summer. There's something about her, Buffy, having to go to like this year's pageant and like fucking sit there, and they even go like, we're gonna need this, like give me the crown, bitch.
That
Stop.
I thought was insulting. I'm like, they don't let you keep the crown. But I guess that's how like trophies work too. You give them to the next person.
That is a nice way, and they could have made this more of a theme, I think, to kind of symbolize how, like, like, honestly, the dead guy could have ended up being, like, Freddie Prinze Jr.'s boss at, like, the Fisherman Wharf or something.
I think it would have been better if it was his dad, and he was the killer, honestly, than
like, all along or something.
Bullshit.
Like having her be at the pageant, I think, is a nice way to show that, like, this is, like, destroying their lives, and it's, like, a symbol of, like, oh, I was hot shit a year ago, but everything sucks now, and I like covered up a murder just to have a chance to go do that, and I failed miserably, and I'm right back where I started. But there was a murder, so now I'm even like, well, now I should just confess because I didn't become an actress. But this guy, but like Ryan Felipe, threatened to pull my eyes out with like corkscrews if I told anyone. So now I'm like, what do I do? And it's like destroying my life. But this is not really about that. This movie's not really delving into those questions.
I do like the like. Well, I never knew my dad. I knew he was a fisherman though. Like that.
Oh, that's even. Is that even in there?
Yeah,
what the hell are they doing? That's so obvious. Why?
To become my father.
I thought you didn't know your dad.
He worked the boats. That's all I do know about him.
And I do like that it's set up like with him saying, oh, I don't want to go see Anne Heche.
Listen to yourselves. You sound like a bunch of vigilantes.
It's July 4th, Ray.
And it's because they dated for a minute and listen to that. And like his whole thing of like, I saw my brother too much by seeing you. Like, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And I get why you didn't do a flashback or showing that, because he can't express those feelings properly.
No, and they don't even really, he just says, I can explain. But I think to your point.
I lifted my eyebrows when I said it, so I'm telling the truth.
No. Julie gets a body in a trunk and you get a letter? That's balanced. What body? What are you talking about? Drop the act.
He is very bad in this, and I wasn't going to drag him this much, but I'm happy you're doing it. Because, I think to your point, they might have even had more to do and been like, Freddie can't do this. We can't do this. Like, it's not. Let's
put him in summer catch.
Yeah, we can't even have him explaining last summer or last fall, whenever it was last spring.
I think when used correctly, he's perfectly serviceable.
It's fine. Listen, it's fine. But yes, the narrative is what we're like focusing on here.
Yeah.
Because that's an insane thing to put in there. Because you can tell now. Oh, they were like, oh, hey, it's your character. You're hiding something. Say it weird. And now I'm like, no. He just said, I don't want to go.
I'm not going anywhere. High school mugshots? What?
Like it was some weird, like, no, that sucks. Like he should have been like, we don't have to go. What do you mean? It should have been like a thing.
It was a red flag the first time I saw the movie. I'm like, okay, that's something. Like,
well, but it's supposed to be, but it's like too much.
Yeah.
Right? Too much of a red flag.
There's
it's
something,
screaming.
if you want to look for symbolism and stuff in this, I would say it would be like the bookends, like opening with this story about a man with a hook and whatever.
They get back to the girl's house and they find the lunatic's bloody hook in the car door. Now that's the original story.
Like no, it got caught in the handle. No, he was hanging upside down. And it's like in the end, his hook rips off and he's hanging upside down. You're like, okay.
No. Like, honestly, genius. And the fact, like, even just having them all tell the story differently and then try to make the point. It's like an urban legend. In my head, when they said it's like an urban legend, my like brain went ding. They said the title of the movie. And I'm like, that's a different movie. Wait, no. I totally ruined it.
The only part that saved that was them each telling their own version. Because it's like, what are you telling the hook hand story? This is the oldest story in the world. Everyone knows this fucking story. And then them arguing over the story. I'm like, okay, you brought it back around for me, kid.
That's the Scream vibe of like, oh, no. We know you're coming into this with prior knowledge. Let's subvert it. And actually, yes, tell every version where you're like, wait, yeah, I have heard it's dripping. Because it cut him with a hook. And I'm like, wait, but no, the hook has to be in the hook was in the, and they go back. I'm like, that's awesome. That's a nice little, and yeah, him dying is ridiculous in so many ways. I hope he comes back in the sequel, but now he's like Captain Hook and he has a hook hand.
I'm a murderer with a hook for a hand, which means I can't make a sandwich.
Best cameo in this is the eagle from the Muppets.
Namby-pamby, conservationists.
Wait. Go on.
There's a part where Ryan Felipe, who is allowed to just ride on the front of the parade float for no reason, runs after a guy and tackles him, and he is the human incarnation of the fucking eagle from the Muppets.
He reminds me of some puppet, maybe one of Jeff Dunham's puppets, like the frowny guy.
I'm happy.
That guy was acting the whole time he was being filmed, and acting like, I'm upset about this.
Shit. Where the hell is he?
Coolest part of the movie that like I'm like, oh, I love this. The elevator thing, that old-timey pulley operated elevator. I love that. I love the fact that he used the same sound effect like 3 times as he tries to swipe through the thing as it's going up. Would have been kind of cool if they caught his arm in that. I think that would have been kind of fun, but like it's not strong enough to actually do anything. It just holds him temporarily.
Yeah.
Because honestly, nothing was holding that guy. He could teleport. She like jumps out of a window. And somehow he like beats her to the thing. All the windows and the doors are locked at this point, and we know they're locked with a key that you need. So either he had to find the key or burst through those windows to get out. I hate things like that. Like, and then somehow he knew which path, and she'd go down this alleyway. A lot of convenience for this old fisherman. Well, he's got the knowledge of the sea.
I was just gonna say, you see, as a fisherman, he's very wise.
So I'm from Maine. I'm a lobster fisherman, right?
You went to that fancy book learning school, but I was taught by the sea, and he knows exactly what's gonna happen. Again, and it sucks that we have to compare them, but the point of Scream is that there's two spoilers for Scream, that there's a whole nother killer. So even if you have one of those moments of like, well, how does he know what door to go in? It's like, that's the other guy. And then you can hand wave it away and it's fine.
It's vastly a superior movie in every way.
Yes, of course, but again, like they've thought of some of these things.
Like,
or whatever.
One of the ones that gets me is just like, and it's just writing. Like, okay, all right, how about Buffy freaks out and she's screaming, he's killing him, and then like the whole crowd in unison like holds her.
Hey! What's the problem?
Help him! He's gonna kill him!
Who? Who's killing who?
Up on the balcony!
All right, everybody stay calm.
Like, so that she can't actually get there in time to stop anything.
Yeah.
Why would that happen?
Because they're like, oh, this girl's upset. We have to like mob her and not let her through.
Absolutely nuts.
It feels like things like that feel weird in like retrospect, but I can almost get behind them. I want to call something out. I had a problem with Buffy's death in this movie for this whole time.
The off the screen death? So the fact that she slipped into being Buffy and fought back, like, really realistically.
Neither of those things, which I'm sure are great. We have to unpack those now, too. No, it felt weird that she was, like, so close to the parade. I always would have said, I get it. It's one of those things when you're so close to help and you can't call for help or something, or it's these fireworks is too loud, no one can hear you, and but so like watching it now and having the scene play out, I'm like, oh, I might have misjudged this. I might have been hasty, I guess. This does have a good vibe. And then she turns around for no reason and she turns back and the guy's in front of her somehow. And I'm like, no, this does suck. I hate this. This is the worst scene. But then, like, as it's playing out, I'm like, okay, they did kind of nail it. That what I guess they were going for. But it's more of the same.
Should have popped out and hooked her like from the shadows, or like the shadows should have been illuminated by the fireworks. You should have saw him
just
for a second.
Yeah. Having him in front of her is nonsense.
That's constantly what
because that means he's in the parade then, which I guess no one would have noticed.
Or he was just behind the other set of tires.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
I know.
Okay, but they can see him there. Like they do a good job with the tires, I guess, where you can't see them, and they switch sides, and you're like, oh, is that flautist going to notice him? And like, no, or whatever.
What the fuck are those tires? It's just a tire alleyway.
It's an alleyway full of black. What they should have done is to have that section of the parade just be all fishermen, all dressed like him. So then when one guy comes out, it's like, well, of course, and he gets lost.
Yeah, maybe not have it that he's in front of her. Yeah. Maybe, but we know there's a lot of fishermen in this town.
No, I know.
Maybe she sees one, she runs back,
away
and
from
then runs into
a fisherman.
him.
Yeah, exactly. I was just trying to make such an absurd reference that you would instantly laugh, and you were like, that's an improvement. We can do this.
Look, we have to face this. What's it gonna be, Ray?
The sister was a bitch, so like I'm cool with her dying. But again, like our dude he's in this like vendetta for almost no reason. Like they hit you with a car. Cool. Like sue them.
You seem fine, by the way.
Yeah.
You left me for dead. He should have. Okay, I don't.
Wait. This is something we have to talk about. Why? They're right near cliffs and the water. They take him in their car, bringing the evidence to a pier, a place that would actually have people potentially, and they dump him off there. The coast is like the current will take him out. Why would you bring him there, where people are going to fish?
Literally after lampshading that someone might be on those rocks waiting to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Like you would jump off. Yeah, I thought that I misremembered this, or I was having a stroke or something. I had the exact same journey. Because they fake out like the one dude's puking.
Actually, it's Barry. He's had way too much to drink, and we're trying to keep the upchuck out of the new car.
Yeah. Which I'm like, oh, brilliant, we're doing it. This is a movie, I like it. And then in my head, I'm like, okay, did they dump his body before Max gets there? Big Bang Max gets there to talk to them?
We'll be seeing you, Max. Yep.
Take care, Julie.
Or do they dump it after, but it's off camera because they're driving now? Wait, they're parking. Wait, they're popping the trunk. He's in the trunk? Wait, you went to a second location with evidence? What are you doing? Don't worry, the crabs will eat all that evidence later in a year. We know that. But for now, it strikes me as like, oh no, why are we doing that?
And like, for most of these deaths, like I get it. Like, it's like, okay, this and that. But he wouldn't have known about Max at all. Like, why he went and killed that guy at his place of work to only use him as like a scare tactic is very weird. Like the sister and the cop, they got caught in crossfire. I get their deaths.
Well, Max, they were interrogating Max.
Yeah,
so
but
Max
unless he's watching them 24 hours a day, that like he would never know.
No, he talks to that happened near the water. He talked to a fish who told him, "Oh, they're getting too close. You gotta bump off Big Bang Max."
Very fucking
he goes,
strange.
"Big Bang Max, what does that mean?" It's probably some fish thing. I'll kill him though.
Yo, Chumbig, take a hike.
Okay, so then it does end, and I can't recall the exact beginning of the sequel, but I know it doesn't pick up from where this shit left off. Because there's that weird stinger of him like jumping through the fucking window. I could almost buy that shit, but what I don't get is why would the roommate bring her mail to the locker room?
Hey, Julie, you got the mail.
Thanks, Deb.
I got mail. Like, and just.
I'll leave it here. Be very wet when you read it. And she's
strange.
like, got it.
And that's all because they're like, we didn't get a scene where she's in a towel. Can we get her in a towel? People like boobs. Can we put her in a position where you could see some boobs?
That is why it's there, right?
It's the only reason it's there.
Think the trailer has...
Probably.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they made good on it, though. Is she in the second one? Jennifer Love Hewitt? That's amazing. Because the mirror says, I still know.
Yeah.
What you did last time. It's too long of a phrase.
That is the title of the second one. Then there's I'll always know what you did last summer, which she is not in.
Yeah, well, at that point, you're like, okay, we've gone off a cliff here.
Yeah.
I liked the sister Elsa, and I liked that they used it to show Buffy's like further decline.
What do you want?
We're doing inventory at the store tomorrow. I need you there by 10.
Yeah.
Where like her sister is also her boss because she's stuck working. Like, oh, she got me a job. I have no resume. My resume says I'm hot and I killed a guy. Like that. Yeah. Those aren't good. That's not good for your CV.
And like, right? She's part of the rich kids. Like in that her family owns a business, so like they're rich in that kind of rich, where they're still working for their richness. While Ryan Felipe like has like the mansion on the like he doesn't work at all.
You ever see Barry at school? It's a big campus. Are you sure he came back?
Saw his car the other day at the gym.
Did you guys break up?
They go to his house and they have to like look so up when he's up on the thing. Like what?
Well, and you know that like Jennifer Love Hewitt's character is not really rich because she's on a scholarship that she might lose. Yeah. And then Freddie's the poorest motherfucker there ever was. He has to work on a boat.
But these socioeconomic things don't even factor. There's one great line where like Freddie Prinze Jr. is like, I don't have the friends or the money to like make this work out for me.
I'm not like the rest of you. I don't have the family or the money to get me out of this. Please.
Yeah.
And it's the only time he's acting in the entire movie because he looks I think at Jennifer Love Hewitt like listen, bitch, like you don't understand. You can get out of this.
But what's dumb is like he wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
They would have like if they were called he wasn't drinking. If they don't believe he was driving, Ryan's fucked, not you, buddy. Like, and all the girls are totally fine. Their reaction is a lot of like, and I get people react like this when things happen. There's not a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
But it just.
I think that is a much more genuine reason than some of the other stuff they give we're all screwed, and then someone's like, wait, what? I'm sorry, what?
I'm actually totally fine here. That's where the threats would have to come in, and you have to like take them seriously. She hand waves them away. I thought that the problem with Freddie saying that
you can't go an inch without hitting a problem. Unfortunately,
with him in what might be his best realism of like, but I'm not rich like you guys. It is like knocked down by the fact that like. Fucking Roseanne kid was like, oh, your fake rich accent's working out good with you, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, it's laid on so thick, yeah.
Okay, Max, will do. Have a good night. You almost got that rich boy act down, right?
Yeah, and he's supposed to be the working kid, but he comes off as like such a bitch. Like, in front of you, like, Max. Your shot was taken, you're this and that, you were shoved at your place of business, and you're just like, yeah, I guess I just take it, 'cause I'm a bitch.
He's supposed to be a bitch, but
I guess.
And he, like, shouts after them, but almost as if after waiting until they couldn't possibly hear him.
Don't you test me, motherfucker!
Where he's like, that's right, you better run. I'm gonna call the cops.
When Freddie Prinze, like, he stops and like, hey, you're right there. And he's like, hey, how can I service you or something? Freddie says some of these unnatural words.
Yes.
And he's like, fuck you.
What can I do for you, Max? You can wipe that my shit don't stink grin off your face.
Yeah, because Jennifer Love Hewitt's kind of good. Like, well, you know, don't drink and drive. Like, please don't be suspicious. And then, Freddie just ruins it. And she's like, dude.
Yeah, you kind of think he might be the killer too, and then like I think they only killed him because of that. They're like this way, you know, he's not the killer.
Too many red herrings.
Yeah,
I think less would have been more. I think is what we're trying to say. Yeah, it's perhaps been more focused.
None. Give us nothing. It's totally random.
Just skip the movie. No. Like I think that this could have been more focused. As an old man, I find the most fascinating aspect of like how this would have impacted their relationships and their lives, and depicting that more so, and how everyone would have reacted differently to it now that it's been a year and how they want to face it differently, and maybe how the evil killer bad guy kind of ruins their plans or makes it work, you know, because like some like some of those things are technically happening in the story, like in the plot, but they're not part of the narrative. Like at the end, the cops are like, "Do you have any reason to suspect why this individual might have wanted you dead?" And they say in unison, "No."
Do you have any idea why this man would want you dead? None.
And I'm like, okay, I guess that's you like not learning your lesson so that there can be a sequel, but like we're gonna spend 10 minutes in the shower in a few seconds to establish that.
Yeah, I think
like,
as an old man going back to the movie, the bigger horror would be to just like, oh man, we hit somebody. Oh, I lost my scholarship. Oh no, they won't let me into school because I have a DWI now.
Yeah.
Oh, they fired me from my fisherman job because I accidentally hit this classic fisherman. Like, oh, I got a bad haircut, says Buffy, because she wakes up in the fucking bed.
Now all the fishermen hate me because I killed their boss.
Yeah.
I killed the best fisherman. All the fish, they hate me now. No, there's something.
The real world consequences are almost scarier than fucking what happens to them.
But there's something to that where it's like we played this gambit. We were like, oh, hey, maybe if I just do this one shitty thing, I can catapult into like a normal good life.
Yeah.
But if we don't do this big lie shitty thing, we know we're fucked, or we think we're fucked because we're dumb or something.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, we have to we're just gonna do this one bad thing, and then like most stories, it's like, well, then you have to do more and more bad things to cover up that bad thing. But this one, oh, it's not your daddy's murder mystery. We're going a full year into the future, where you pick up on these kids, these naive kids who were like, oh, life's on autopilot. I hit this one speed bump, but I fucking just ignored it, and now I'm off to Success Town, and they all eat shit. Where she's like, I hate school, actually. I'm thinking about changing my major. Wait, you have that scholarship? Yeah, I know. I don't know. And everyone just can't live because of this guilt and this shittiness. And then when they go, wait, we didn't kill anybody, but he's trying to kill us. But now they've like committed more crimes, and they've gone too deep.
The idea that somehow this won't affect you mentally in that, oh no, we never murdered somebody. We're good.
Wait a second. You think this Willis guy killed David, then we killed him?
Yeah, but what if he didn't die, Ray? What if he's still alive?
Everyone we know is dead. But we didn't murder anybody.
They're dead now, and someone wants to kill us now or something. I think someone should have been framed for that murder. I think this fisherman should have been trying to frame Freddie Prinze Jr. the whole time, and that should have been the conflict.
Well, he's not a giant animal.
It's not like he's a bison who could frame someone for murder.
See, if you're new here, Lee always thinks that the creature feature films are an animal trying to frame people for murder.
I don't think that. I pointed out when this narrative device is used.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
I know what you did last summer. Ooh, what a crock of shit.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff